let's start it off with the Jags, I guess. And I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Um the Jags are a dumpster fire right now. They are fucking terrible. They
Mhm,
haven't won a game
mhm.
since dating back to last year, deep into last year. Trevor Lawrence looks like a shell of himself. The coaching staff is much to blame as well. A lot of players are just not playing up to par. I feel bad for players like Brian Thompson. I feel bad for players like
Brian
uh,
Thomas,
Brian
got you.
Thomas. Sorry, Brian Thomas. I feel bad for players like ETN.
Dude, he's been there 3 weeks, bro. He's fine.
I feel sorry
He's
for him.
okay right
I feel
now.
like they're wasting his
He's
talent
okay.
along with a lot of other
It's 3
guys.
ga it's 3 games. That's crazy,
That's
but
how I
okay.
feel. Look, how bad do they look, Max?
Oh, horrendous. I mean, look, I know a lot of people are pointing to Trevor Lawrence's $60 million contract and saying like, "Oh, look, they're 0-3." The Bills scored 34 points in the first half. Only 1 turnover. Both sides of the ball are a disaster right now. There's no debate in that. To me, a lot of blame goes on Doug Peterson. I don't know if you want me to get into this now or if you want me to hold it so we do our little coach talk we're gonna
Nah,
do this week.
what
Just
you got for us?
I've lived this, guys. I've lived this experiment with Doug Peterson. Year one for the Eagles, it was like, ooh, Carson Wentz, shiny new toy. People who don't know about Doug Peterson, he was kind of a middling OC, and then he had a really good couple years in Kansas City with Alex Smith. That got him the job with the Eagles. He was Andy Reid's like protege, right? Like, don't forget we have Nagy who comes from there. So yeah, Doug Peterson was before Nagy, I believe, right? One in this thing, yeah, he was
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Nagy
yeah, yeah.
replaced Peterson. So Peterson, he's cool his first year. Eagles go 7-9, rookie quarterback. Year two was ridiculous. Year two is the year we win the Super Bowl. Even before Nick Foles stepped into the field, the Eagles' offense was the best in the NFL. I think Juan has the stats right there. If you can put that graphic up just to give him a little visual. Eagles in 2017, the number one scoring offense, fourth passing, sixth rushing. We were dominant that year. It would have been more dominant if Carson Wentz didn't get hurt. After that, we win a Super Bowl, but you can see the immediate drop off goes from 1 to 12. The fourth best passing offense goes to the 20th, and the rushing offense falls off as well. And yeah, we lost a couple of players, guys, but what we lost was Frank Wright. And I truly believe this Frank Wright was the mastermind behind those teams. I don't think Doug Peterson's a great offensive coach like he's like said to be. And you can see how bad the fall off is. Hey, look, Jacksonville year one was the best year, right? One.
Yeah.
It says it right there statistically. We had the best offense. Well, we got a little worse year two. And year three was a freaking disaster. I know Trevor Lawrence got hurt, but it wasn't like they were lighting the world on fire before he got hurt one. And this is the Doug Peterson. I think his shit gets stale after a couple of years. Teams get on it. To me, a good coach like Sean McDermott, they were on the Jags' ass all night. And of course, Trevor Lawrence still has his faults he has to clean up because every game or two, there's a couple of throws I'm like that Brian Thomas throw over the middle that was a pick to DeMar Hamlin. Shout out to him for getting his first career pick.
Yeah.
You got to hit that. He's too talented not to hit that throw, but that's not the reason they lost this game. They were down 27-3 when that happened. They were getting destroyed. And it's not like the Bills were struggling to put together. They were just running up and down the field. And this is what I've lived with the Eagles. It's Doug Peterson, man. I think it's the writings on the wall. He's going to get fired. I don't know if Shad Khan would do it. And during the season, I'm not sure if they have that respect, but they're 0-3 and they look like the worst team of football. Let me rephrase. They're not the worst team of football. They're the most disappointing team of football by a wide margin, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson, Press Taylor, the DC, I can't think of his name right now. All their asses need to go. Clean house.
Yeah,
It's bad.
I probably give it until week 6 or 7 where we see these guys out of Jacksonville and they're gonna get a new coach. Honestly, part of me wants to put the blame on Trevor Lawrence just because my bar is high for Trevor Lawrence, and I think a lot of people forget about that. A lot of people were talking this dude up, like if he was the
Generational.
next,
Lost 2 games at Clemson his whole career.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Andrew Luck, John Elway, those are the guys that we're comparing them to in the draft,
Mm-hmm.
a generational type prospect, and to me, it's apparent that the contract he's not that guy. I get that's the quarterback market, but I'm sorry, bro. I'm done with Trevor Lawrence as far as thinking of him as a team lifter. He doesn't elevate guys around him. I know the coaching sucks.
And I
I,
don't feel like the problem is talent, like weapons around him. I will say this: the O line is pretty abysmal right now. Cam Robinson sucks. Walker Little's not that good. The O line's a problem that they should have addressed, but it's not to the level of like Daniel Jones with the Giants from last year. It's not like they're not blocking a single soul.
but you
Th-
know this
But
though,
I agree with
Max.
you.
You know this.
I don't.
Like
I agree. I
there's
agree. I agree
elevators.
with everything you said.
Yeah,
I agree.
there's elevators, and some guys just can't do it. And he's not one. I'm not saying he can't win a playoff game. I'm not saying that he can
He's
potentially win
done
a
that.
Super Bowl.
He's played up to the level of Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I mean, not to that level, but I'm saying that game, the Jaguars versus the Chiefs, we weren't like, damn, Trevor Lawrence is holding this team back. That was not the case.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I,
was not the case, and
I'm just
it's sad
saying
to see.
the talks of putting him into the elite class potentially of a Mahomes, of an Allen, even a guy like Herbert. Sorry, he's never gonna be there. I don't think so. Like, I think we would see it with the bad coaching that he has gotten twice already in his career. He looks terrible. He needs a system around him. He needs some things to be good around him. It's what the guy needs. He's not an elevator like that. He's not what we drafted him to be. He's not number one pick John Elway, potential fucking, the guy. He's not.
I'm going to agree. I think there will be years in his career where he's sniffing that, you know, seventh best, eighth best quarterback in the league, but he's never going to be an elite guy where like you're talking about this guy just carries a team by himself. I don't think he's that. I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
I truly agree.
Yeah.
Big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold both ways. Not on my team. This organic, we don't buy